So I was originally a professional archaeologist. After a pretty gnarly accident that I had in the field, decided I couldn't really do field work anymore. And so I ended up going to law school at Drake University, Drake Law School. Graduated from there focusing on cultural properties. So when I graduated, I worked with a small boutique law firm specializing in business transactional law. One form of entertainment that I had was I had my acoustic guitar with me.
I lived in New York City, and I was the director of copyright for Sony Music, and specifically for the Columbia and Epic record labels under the Sony Music Entertainment umbrella.
I was doing like the semi-professional musician thing while having my full-time day job. It was in the summer of 2016 that I first met Toby Parks, who at the time was starting Station One Records.
I had started Station One, was kind of doing some traveling between New York and here. I had asked to host something that, it was like a town hall at the social club. So we held this thing called the State of the Musical Union, right? And it was just a panel discussion that I had hosted with a few different people in the local scene, and a bunch of people came out to kind of talk about, what the scene was and what they wanted, and apparently Tom was there.
We decided we were going to meet for coffee and just talk about, what we could kind of do for each other and see where things went. And about 3 hours into our 30-minute meeting, I realized I wasn't going to be working for the law firm much longer. And in October, I moved from the law firm over to Station One Records.
We realized that we had a lot of the same ideas in terms of what we wanted to do, and a lot of the same ideals in terms of what we felt artists needed. And that was kind of the beginning. Station One is a 501c nonprofit organization, and xBk is a private commercial enterprise.
We had talked about the need to start a venue. That little idea started turning into conversations about, well, I heard this building is for sale, or I heard this place might go for sale soon. And walking through places, and a few years later, all of a sudden, we had this place. And xBk was born. xBk standing for X Brooklyn, where Toby moved to Des Moines from.
We have a really unique space with a very unique energy. I don't think that there's a place like it in the city. And to be quite frank, I haven't been to really any place that's quite like xBk. I know I'm biased, but really we just want to create experiences for people and to make sure that, whenever you come in, that you're well taken care of, that you feel safe, that you feel good, and that you can have a really good time.
We've recorded music videos in here. We've done theatrical productions with our artists. We've done feature photo shoots, rehearsal space. All the stuff that you don't necessarily think of that an artist will need as far as a physical space is concerned, we're able to offer that because of our close relationship between Station One Records and xBk.
I had always wanted to create something like not only an education type of program for the artists, but something for people who are interested in getting involved in the music industry, because there's a whole other side of this of people who feel like they have to go to New York or LA to be able to work in the industry, and that also just isn't true. So I approached Drake about creating a parallel kind of academic program around music business, and so the students would be heavily involved in helping to develop these acts that we were working with, and that's kind of the beginning of how that got started.
We teach courses, first and foremost. We have a couple of course offerings at Drake. This upcoming year, I will be teaching a recorded music industry course, a performing arts management course, as well as a live events course. So you can get all three. You can spend a lot of time with me. I'm sure it'll be super entertaining and thrilling for everyone. But it gives a great overview of the music business on all sides of it. Recorded, live, and then managing performing artists and performing arts spaces.
We wanted to give people a foothold, or to understand what the different aspects of the live industry were about, and the fact that we had our own space to be able to do that. It seemed like a logical step, because particularly on the live side, and I think the music industry generally, there are definitely some music business programs around, but In terms of live music and how to be a promoter or how a venue runs, there's not really an education for that, and we feel like we can offer some of those things. And so, Tom and I are continually learning on the fly as we're running that space. And to the extent that we can help other people who want to get into that, help at least arm them with some of the basic tools, then that's even better for our community.
Additionally, at Station One, we offer internships. We try to focus them on what the students are looking for. Like if you're into graphic design and you want to do graphic design promotions, stuff like that, great. We have plenty of work to do on that line. If you're more interested in talent management or being a booking agent and booking shows, awesome. Here's, get your phone out. Here's a list of phone numbers. Let's do this. So we try to tailor make it for the individual students so that they are getting the absolute most out of their experience that they possibly can.
We offer business advice and, education and some direction on, different aspects of the music industry.
We have helped artists grow to the point where they can make a living doing their music, which I think is the main goal for most artists. We have gotten music videos of our artists in movie theaters, at movie premieres. We have done amazing work and programs with Iowa PBS, Iowa Public Radio. We've had artists go on their first national tours, first international tours and shows. We have worked with artists to get their songs to streaming numbers close to 1 million streams. That's mind-boggling.
I want to build more of them. My hope is to expand the model that we've created here at xBk around, the type of experience that we want to create for people, the type of sort of artist hospitality and the room and all those things, and go into other markets like Des Moines, which we consider like sort of secondary or tertiary markets, and open up spaces like that, because smaller communities need really awesome venues for really awesome talent to come in and play. And so that's my next step is, we're now just getting over a pandemic, so I have to get, right back on, the right footing here. But as soon as we get things back sort of in a solid financial state post-pandemic, my hope is to open up another venue in a different market.
The main takeaway for all of this is that we as a community are creating a better music environment for musicians, for patrons, for venue owners, for support staff, everybody. And we are finding a way to make this a great place for the arts, not just in Iowa, not just in the Midwest, but in the whole country. And it's going to be a long process. It's going to take a lot. But by all means, come to a show. Let me introduce you to your new favorite band, and just stick around a while, because, this is Des Moines. You never really know what's going to happen.
I've been signed with Station One Records for 5 years.
I'm a former Station One artist who had the privilege of working with Toby and Tom.
Tom and Toby, who was formerly part of Station One, just have absolutely changed the projection of my career.
I'm so grateful for all that Toby and Tom have done for the music community. I can't wait to see who they develop next.